Hello, hello. We are starting the Barbara Talks business show now, and we are starting it a little bit early because we have a special guest who's excited. And so let me introduce my special guest to you. Haley, say hi.
Hi.
This is Haley Kane, aka my youngest child. She is 10, and today we were having lunch, and I had a great idea that it would be pretty cool to interrupt my regularly scheduled Barbara Talks business shows to have an interview with a child and do a child's perspective from about the business world. And so you may have noticed that Haley is my mini me. Yeah. Haley, do you want to share anything about yourself?
My favorite color is orange and I like swimming.
Okay, her favorite color is orange and she likes swimming. You have an orange bathing suit, don't you? Yeah, look at that. Okay, so before we jump into this interview with Haley, I want to give you an update on my relationship challenge. So, Haley, here's what's going on. I challenged myself to start building more intentional relationships with people for the next 3 months. And that's because mommy struggles with having deep relationships. Have you ever noticed that in mommy? No? Mommy does a pretty good job hiding it. Yeah, okay. So this week I actually had lunch with my friend Dawn, and she and I go to church together, and she's just a wonderful woman altogether. And I remember quite a while ago when I first met Dawn, I thought, man, she'd be really awesome to hang out with. And I think that was like 2 years ago. And now that I'm doing these intentional relationship increases, if you will, I'm now hanging out with her, which is really cool. She is fun to hang out with, just like I thought. Okay, so I did meet my relationship challenge this week. That's what I'm getting at. And so Haley, actually, it'd be fun if you do a relationship challenge too. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you can intentionally try to hang out with one friend every single week?
Yeah, but it'd have to be Jay.
Well, you have to intentionally try to make other friends too. It's okay to still be, get closer with your current friend, but maybe you could try to make new friends too. Yeah, you'll try that? Okay. All right. So if there's any kids out there, you want to have a play date, just let us know. Or parents who have a 10-year-old daughter or somewhere around that age, just let me know. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this. I'm going to interview her some questions to see what a child's perspective looks like for, you know, people business owners who have kids, right? So what is her perspective as a child having parents that are business owners? She doesn't know what questions I'm going to ask. She has agreed to be on the show, though. I did ask her I didn't force her to do this. She's normally here when I do Barbara Talks Business, and she's the one who normally keeps the animals quiet for me while I do this show, right?
Yeah.
Haley also helps me to focus my camera when I'm getting ready to go live, and she's very helpful to mom, right? Yeah. Okay, so if you're watching this live, please say hello to Haley in the chat. Let her know that you are here watching. Let her know she has an audience, and we're going to go ahead and jump in and start asking Haley some questions. I wrote some handy dandy little questions down here that I'll ask Haley, and we'll see what she thinks from a child's perspective. Okay, so the first thing is, mom is a business owner. Do you know what a business owner is?
That you own a business.
Okay. Do you know anything else about business owners?
No, I just think that you own a business.
Are business owners good people or bad people?
Good people.
Well, they could be bad people too, but mommy's not a bad person, right? Okay. Okay, and so do you know what I do? Like, what's my job?
You live stream on YouTube and you help people.
Okay. So do you think I'm one of those famous YouTubers like what you watch on your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Yeah? You think Mommy's a famous YouTuber? Look at that, you guys. Like, this kid has hopes for Mama. I am not yet a famous YouTuber. I don't know if I ever will be. It's up to the Lord. But, so you're right. I do like to help people as well. And I do live stream. And, I obviously do a lot more things. But I wanted to tell people a funny thing that you said when you were in preschool. Do you remember that? When you were in preschool and it was a Mother's Day thing and they were filling out all this fun stuff about Mom.
I think I know.
Yeah, all the fun stuff about Mom. And so Haley being, I don't know, maybe 4 at the time,
Yeah,
she she would just recite what the answer was that she had for a certain part of the they were like drawing things for their moms, and then the teacher was of course writing it on the paper. And so Haley, do you remember when it said on that paper, what does your mom do for work? Do you remember what you said?
No,
I know what one you're thinking of. Okay, hold on. So on that paper, she said she eats lunch with people.
No, it wasn't that one last week.
I know that's not the one you're thinking, but that's what she said about that. So because she's so excited, I'm going to let her tell you the one that she was thinking. I know which one it was. The question was, what is your mom's favorite drink? What'd you put?
I put wine.
Yeah, alcohol. She said alcohol. And you guys, at that time in her life, I had only had alcohol. Like I had gotten drunk once or twice maybe. She just so happened to remember those 2 times. And even like in between those 2 times of getting drunk, I didn't drink alcohol regularly. We didn't have it in the house or anything like that. So the fact that she said that, I was like, what the heck? Her teacher probably thinks I'm an alcoholic. I've only had, like, I don't even drink. But it was just so funny. And so again, the way that kids see things is very different from sometimes how they really are. Okay, what you messing with there?
Seeing if the drawer will open.
Trying to see if my drawer will open? That's where I stashed my candy. I guess she found it. No, stop looking further. There's no more in there.
I want one.
So we're at my desk. The kids don't usually spend a lot of time down here. I do. Okay, Haley, so we talked earlier about that that Mom does do a lot of other things besides just help people and do YouTube streaming, right? So you may not know all the things I do, but does anything come to mind? Like, is there anything that you're like, oh, I remember Mom said this, or that I saw her do this? Does anything come to your mind?
No.
No? No? Okay. And so, but lately I've not been doing business as much. Haley, do you know why I've not done business as much lately?
You've had a lot to do.
What are the things I'm doing instead?
Homeschooling me and my sister.
Yep, I'm homeschooling our daughters, which has been quite a blessing, I think, for all of us. Do you think it's been good? Yeah? What else is Mom up to?
Doing stuff around the house.
Yeah, I do a lot of stuff around the house, right? Does anybody help with that?
Me sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Alyssa sometimes, right? Yeah. Isaac sometimes, right? Yeah. And even James sometimes. And so the past couple of weeks, we've talked about things like organization and relationships, and then even goals and priorities. And so I want to tie that in with this one as well, so that we could bring Haley into the conversation. So knowing that Mom does a lot of things, Mom goes to school right now too. Did you know that? You know, I'm a student. Do you know what I'm going to school for?
For God.
Yeah, I'm going to Bible school. Yeah. So what do you think about that?
It's nice.
Yeah. Are you going to go back to school when you're an adult?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, Mommy's very old, right? James is about to go to college right now. He is in college right now. And like, I'm going to college too. Like, what do you think of that? Does that seem normal or strange?
Strange.
Okay, so if you're just joining us, let us know in the comments that you're here. Today I'm interviewing Haley, a child's perspective on people who are business owners, specifically her parents. Okay, so I dropped my paper. I guess I'll have to just figure it out off the top of my head, or my helper will get it. Okay, so Haley, I want to tie in the things that we've worked on the last couple of weeks. When I get overwhelmed, or even sometimes before I get overwhelmed, when I know that, hey, we've got to do this, 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 and that before we can go do XYZ, do I usually ask for help?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do I normally do it? How would you describe the way I ask for help?
You're like, can you? Well, wait. What are you asking for help for?
Like if I need help with like housework before we can go out of
Oh.
town.
You're like Haley or Alyssa or whatever name you say. You're like, can you help me around the house real fast, please, before we leave?
Mhm.
And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And then at our house, when do we get our stuff ready for like Wednesday when we go to the co-op? When do we get our stuff ready? Like our lunches, our bag, all of that.
The day before co-op.
Yep, the night before. And why do we do that? Do you remember?
So we don't have to rush in the morning.
Yeah, or forget anything, right? So it's all already ready. When we go out of town, because we've been doing that a lot lately, when do we get our stuff ready? Pack our bags.
The day before.
Yep, the day before. And so Mom drives a hard bargain around this house, don't I? Is it tough living here?
No.
What do you think about all the stuff that's organized? Like there's like labels on literally everything in this house.
Even on the fridge.
Yes, even our refrigerator is labeled. Oh, Haley, look, our friend Tim Faley came on. She should have her own show. Look at that. Oh, and Jamesy Wamesy just got here. You guys can't see him, but would you like to say hi? We're on my podcast. Today's an interview show.
Hello, everybody.
All right. So yeah, if you have any questions you'd like to ask Haley, put those in the chat because we are interviewing Haley from a child's perspective today. Okay, Haley. So the refrigerator is labeled.
Yeah.
Have any of your friends ever noticed that?
Yeah.
What'd they say about it?
Jade's the only one that's been over.
Yeah.
Since the labels.
Did she think that was crazy?
She didn't really say anything about it, but
okay.
She probably was like, "Why is there labels in the fridge?" And
yeah.
like, you're gonna see everything already.
Yep. And I labeled some stuff in your room, right?
You did?
Remember in your your Barbie stuff? Yeah. Did that help you keep your stuff organized? It did, yeah. So Haley has quite a lot of Barbie dolls, and she would have accessories everywhere. And then she'd be like, "I can't find my microphone for my Barbie." And that was an awful impression of you, wasn't it? But then I'd have to come in there and try to help her find her microphone, and we'd find it. And then finally, I had organized the drawers for her. And the first time I did not label it. That was my own fault. But then it kept happening again. All her accessories would get mixed up. And so the next time I organized for her, I labeled everything. Shoes go here. Clothes go here. Adult Barbies go here, right? Other accessories here. And she's got these things called, what are they, mini brands? Those have their own drawer. So like everything has a place. And yes, I am a nutcase about that. What else do you notice in our house that you think maybe Mom also does in my business?
That I see in our house?
Yeah, like what is it that you see around our house that if you really thought about it, you're like, oh, Mom probably does that in her business too, right? Because obviously in my business, everything's organized too. I mean, you see behind me the files, all of the binders match each other, right? Like everything's organized. And so I do that both in my personal life and my business life. Are there any other things you think? Well, same thing with getting ready the night before. I do that both for personal reasons and business reasons.
And you work on your computer.
I do work on my computer a lot, both for personal and business, right? What else you think?
I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. So remember earlier we talked about when you were in preschool, you thought that what I did for a living was to just have lunch with people, that I just ate with people all the time, right?
I don't remember doing that, but I probably did.
And so she thought, because that's what I was doing a lot at that time. I was like constantly networking. That's called networking in the business world, just so you know. And so Haley and I had lunch together today. And that place that we had lunch at today, I've actually had quite a few business meetings there and some meetings there with some of my girlfriends as well. So that's a nice place I like to go both for personal and professional reasons too. So mom doesn't really get paid necessarily to go to those meetings. Sometimes people will pay for my lunch or my dinner while I'm at the meeting with them, but most of those are to build relationships and to nurture relationships with people that I already care about. And that sometimes they also lead into to some business, some new clients. That makes sense?
Yeah.
All right. So if you have any questions for Haley, now's the time to ask, because we're going to keep this pretty short because Haley gets to go to her dad's house soon. So she was so excited to start before 2:00 because she was the spotlight, the guest of honor, and so we started early. So we'll definitely be ending early as well.
I'm also excited to go to dad's too.
Yes, you are very excited to go to your dad's. She loves going to her dad's.
Because he plays video games.
He does play video games with you. And so this would be Dad's favorite podcast to watch, huh? I think sometimes he watches my podcast. Maybe not all of them, but this will be his favorite one if he does watch it. Because the cutest face in the world is here.
He doesn't really watch YouTube unless he needs to find something out.
Oh, okay.
About our trip to Universal Studios pretty soon. He looked up stuff on YouTube, just what will be there.
Well, speaking of Universal Studios, why don't you tell people what you're excited about with that?
I'll just say some of the things that are there.
Okay.
So there's going to be 2 massive pools, which I'm really excited about because I love going swimming. Mm-hmm. And there's gonna be arcades and bowling alleys and stuff. Mm-hmm. And there's gonna be big slides, like the ones with the 4-seaters,
in the tube.
Yeah, in the tubes. Mm-hmm. And there's gonna be roller coasters, and one has 4 seats in a row.
Are you gonna ride a roller coaster?
Yeah.
She loves roller coasters.
And
Mommy's scared of them.
The 4 ones that we're going to go on is going to be me, we're going to be in the row together.
All 4 of you, yep.
Yeah, and it goes upside down for a little bit, but it doesn't stay there. It's just woo. And then it goes through fog too.
Oh and, my goodness.
At first, when it's first going, it goes slow and then just...
Whoa. Okay, so if you're watching this and you've been to Universal Studios, let us know in the comments and tell Haley what ride she should try to ride. What's your favorite ride? Give her some tips in the comments.
And I forgot what I was... Oh, yeah. And our hotel room, it's going to be Halloween themed. And outside the window, there's going to be a good view of a volcano that erupts. Mm-hmm. It's a fake one, but of course not a real one. But it's going to be cool. And we're going to be staying there for 5 days and Halloween morning. And I'm most excited about the plane.
Yeah. When we went to Disney when Haley was, what were you, 5 maybe? I think she was about 5. Maybe 4 or 5. We went to Disney, and when we got back from Disney, we were there for a week. We get back, and everybody's asking her, "How was it? Did you love it?" And she's like, "I want to go on another plane ride."
Because that was my first one.
And we're we take the kid to Disney, and her most excited memory was the plane ride. She did have a whole lot of fun there. She just didn't really remember that as much as the plane ride. She loved that plane ride.
Yeah, I remember how I ate pretzels all the time. I played with my little Shopkins.
Yep, and you got to sit right next to Mama, right?
Yeah, and I played with my Shopkins on that little tray that goes in front of you. And I was
yeah, so
and those McDonald's toys.
Yeah, I could see Haley being a stewardess one day in her life. Do you know what that is? That is, those ladies and sometimes men who serve the peanuts and the drinks and they do the signs of where the exits are, the announcements and stuff. Those are stewardess. They I think that's the right word, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But so those are people who they get to fly on all kinds of different plane rides because they're the ones who are serving the people that are on the plane. I could totally see that being a job you'd love. Because you get to ride the plane all the time. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we're about to jump off here unless anybody has any questions for little Miss Haley. From a child's perspective, today we talked about what this child of business owners has thought about and noticed with her parents and their business. And she also found my candy stash in the drawer right in front of us. So if you're ever at our home and you see my desk, now you know where my candy stash is also. All right, let's see. It looks like we have a question here in the chat. Tim Faley says, what is her favorite subject in school? Oh, that's good.
Science, which my mom teaches it.
Yeah, so well, obviously I do teach all of her classes at homeschooling, but in the co-op that we go to at our church, the kids all have 4 classes each, and I do teach Haley's science class to 4th and 5th graders, and for some reason she loves that class, even though science is my worst subject, and I have no idea how I'm teaching it. And let's see, I got another question here. What is Haley's favorite after-school activity?
Calling my friends.
Yeah, calling your friends. You like to do the FaceTime with them, right? What is it called when you and a group of your friends all get together on the video chat? What is that?
Google Duo.
Google Duo, yeah. So they like to do that.
You can do that on FaceTime, but Bella doesn't have an iPhone, so it doesn't work. So that's why we have to use Google Duo.
Nice, nice. Those are great. Some great questions, Tim. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, Haley, do you have anything else that you would like to share with people before we get off of the Barber Talks Business podcast?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, Haley and I are going to work on our relationship challenge and intentionally working on building relationships with people. In fact, Tim Faley, who's watching right now, Isaac and I are having lunch with him in a few days, or dinner with him in a few days. And that will actually be my relationship update that I'll be able to share with you guys next week, because we are intentionally getting together with our friend Tim. And I so look forward to that, Tim. Thank you for spending time with us. And yeah, so we're going to do that. And no more candy. She keeps opening this drawer. I'm going to have to chop those hands off. That'd be child abuse. I said it on camera. It's going to be all over the world. Okay, so thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you for being okay with me interrupting all of the important Barber Talks business topics so that we can have a cutie patootie on here telling us how she sees business from a child's perspective. All right, have a great day, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Barber Talks Business every Tuesday at 2.